Welcome to this painting tutorial. Today we're painting a beautiful beach scene using water-based oil paint, starting with some turquoise blue and cerulean blue for the top of the sky, working our way downwards, adding some white for the clouds and the lighter areas. For the sky closest to the horizon, the horizontal line, I'm using a mix of turquoise blue and white. Now working across the painting, and then we'll move upwards. I'm leaving this area with some white for the first cloud. Taking some white and cadmium yellow and mixing the two together and applying this to the top of the cloud, adding some white for the middle and a new cloud over here, dabbing the brush to get a variation in the shape, using a mix of white and yellow that's not fully mixed in. Adding some more white, and sometimes using the tip of the brush for the edge of the cloud and the flatter part of the brush for the centre of the cloud for larger areas. This time using yellow ochre and white for a warmer colour. Now a little bit of the violet mixed with white and crimson, and this will mainly be for the bottom of the clouds. dabbing on some more white and lightening the top of the clouds, toning down some of the violet and leaving some yellow. Now using some French Ultramarine and white to go over the violet colour and to make it more of a purple grey mix. For the main part of the sky, the blue, I'm going to lighten it closer to the horizon using the yellow ochre, white and cadmium yellow with an emphasis on the white, and I'm making some random gentle strokes, leaving some of the blue exposed, giving the impression of a nice bright sunny day. Using the existing violet mix, because I'm not one to waste any colour, and adding some French Ultramarine, I'm going to make some cliffs, a little bit of a rocky outcrop in the distance, and then the landmass over here. Now using the yellow, white and cadmium red, just a touch, I'm just going to add a warm tone to the top half of some of the clouds. Now back to the cliff and adding some French Ultramarine to the base, a little white, now some yellow ochre, and a bit more violet. To create some highlights on the top of the land, I'm using white, cadmium red and cadmium yellow mixed together. The tiniest amount of French Ultramarine to darken the base of the rocks. A little bit of white as a highlight on the cliffs. Now for the pièce de résistance, the main event, the glorious beach, and I'm using the yellows, cadmium red and white. Moving across from right to left towards the sea. I'm keeping the colour a bit patchy. I don't want it all to be the same tone. For the wetter part of the sand, close to the sea where it overlaps the shore, I'm going to add in some violet, blue and crimson all mixed together. And this shading goes in a diagonal line. It's wider at the bottom on the left and narrow at the top on the right below the cliffs. Some deeper shades of yellow with the red, and this will be in part covered by water. To start the sea in the distance, I'm going to use cerulean blue and turquoise mixed with white, similar to the sky. There's a touch of French ultramarine and white for a darker area of waves, and I'll stroke this across horizontally in random strokes, leaving some white gaps in between. Adding some violet and white close to the shore on the left-hand side. For the dark edge of the waves, a mix of French ultramarine, primary cyan and violet. And I'm using the edge of the brush sideways on. And for the white, also known as white horses, I'm using the tip of the brush very lightly and following the edge of the blue and the violet that we've just put down. A few light waves in the distance. Underneath the white foam, I'm going to define the shape by adding a little cerulean blue between the waves. A little blue mixed with yellow to create a light green for the waves on the sand. Some finishing touches, a white highlight on the very top of the cliffs. I hope that you've enjoyed this painting tutorial. Thank you for supporting the channel and please come back soon.